Alright, welcome back everybody. This is gster the Boss, aka the Throne Master. This is Game 2, Week 10, Terran StarBattle League. We Nuke and Run versus SpaceBunnys. Great matchup we got going so far. SpaceBunnys took game number 1. We Nuke and Run in the red team once again. They come out double Destro, Battlecruiser, Guardian, Arbiter, Carrier. So looking pretty tough, looking like they got some front game shenanigans going on. Over here, double Guardian, both of them going 5 spine this time. Destro, Captain Jim, 5 armor. Raven, EMP. Link out there in the levy. Also, okay, we're going double levy this time. So looking at more late game power out of the SpaceBunnys crew. Outside's going to be sub-gods in the 4-3 Destro for We Nuke and Run. He's going to push on Link, get him in there, keep him from making all that money like he did in game number 1 where he just got so dominant. Techmeister, the carrier, obviously going to be 4-3 over here, and Chloe with the armor to hold the inside. There's Captain Jim with a little bit of a push in his Destro. Puff Puff went with range and then grabbed a Broodling Strike. And Nut Butter, oh yeah, he went with the standard range, with the range rocket out of the battlecruiser. So 7 attacks right now on that level 1 longbow. A lot of damage. Avenger gonna take an early L right now. Avenger goes down early for SpaceBunnys. That's tough. Ouch. SpaceBunnys gonna try to turn around. Not really anybody to get a good trade from, and wow, he just got caught. Great, great identification on the part of We Nuke and Run after they pulled sub gods into the middle there to see that the Guardian wasn't getting out of dodge quick enough. Link's gonna move to the inside a little bit. They move Grizzly on the outside for the Raven, and sub god's gonna be allowed to farm a little bit, without anybody really messing with them in that Destro. He does have those 4 lasers, so he can do that well. Captain Jim taking too much damage, gonna have to back out of there a little bit. Chloe's gonna push the issue, make sure that they actually get back. They're right next to their towers right now. Loco is on the outside, has gone up to 7 tentacles already. Grabbed a Bile Swarm and 1 armor so far. Out there fighting against Techmeister. We Nuke and Run hasn't gone back yet. After getting that kill, so we'll see what they decide to go with. But now they do have a pretty considerate advantage at this point. 1 ship up. Let's take a look at what the money's looking like. Of course, I can never find anybody who has the right overlays. That's going to be an advantage of 200 for We Nuke and Run right now. And when you're at 4 minutes, that's a lot. But, a ship going down that early is tough for anybody. But if anybody can overcome it, probably SpaceBunnys, one of the better teams, have been able to overcome this. They also have a composition that tends to get stronger and stronger as the game goes on. So it's not a complete loss. They had 2 Guardians, so after losing 1, they still got a Guardian. He's out there with the 5 spines. High farmer of the game right now is sub-gods in the Destro. So he's going to be a nightmare to deal with after he gets back from his upgrading. And next highest person's Techmeister. Big advantage over here. Outside ships for We Nuke and Run making all kinds of money. And on the other hand, Loco for SpaceBunnys, high farm for them. So let's take a look at what they came out with. Bots on Captain Jim right now. Link has grabbed a Bile. What else are they doing? Let's see. Nightstar coming out in his Guardian. Up to 7 on those needles. Grabbed himself a couple of armor. The Raven go back. He's got 300 energy right now. And he's at 1.7 speed. So investing a little bit in speed for, potentially for survivability or potentially to get these EMPs off a little bit better. Fighting against that Arbiter and probably eventually that Guardian. Gifted Stoner is the Arbiter, and looks like, well, let's see what he's doing farm wise. Gonna have a little bit of a fight against that Raven right now, as an Arbiter might be. lagging a little bit behind in the farm because he's playing it support style. And ain't nothing wrong with it. We're on the EU server, so when you got an arbiter, play it support style. That's what I say. Don't forget, I am the Kriegsminister when it comes to the EU server. So we account for the fact that we're amongst our international brethren. And all right, back to the game. It looks like, you know, just fighting in the middle. SpaceBunnys is gonna play it a little bit cautious, but make sure they're getting that farm up. And if we look at team farm, nobody has the overlay. Everyone hates me. It is 1150 on the We Nuke and Run side and 850, so 300 advantage right now for the We Nuke and Run guys. Obviously, as you saw, a ship up right now, so we'll see what they decide to go with, as they're finally coming in for upgrades. Plenty money to spend right now. 1,000 on sub guides, 600 on Clo. Puff's got 700. Techmeister's got over 800. Nutbutter even has 570, and he's a battle cruiser, so very good for him. Here we go. Gifted Stunner coming in for his upgrades as well, and looks like there's going to be a regrouping for SpaceBunnys right now. They're going to pull back, avoid any kind of warp trick, because that would really be devastating. Not just because they're a ship down, but because that's double destro on the We Nuke and Run side, and yeah, somebody would just get owned. That's really the only way to put it. Shout out to owned.tv, hosting all the streaming for StarBattle events. We've been doing this Terran StarBattle thing for a long time now, and it's been successful. Plenty of casters, plenty of games for everyone to go back and look at, and playoffs coming up really soon. I know you're probably saying playoffs, but yeah, playoffs coming up really soon, so get ready for that. It's going to be exciting. Link on the outside pulling away, got 7 on his bio, so he's going to do some damage. 9 range. Sub guy's not going to be able to deal with him. Sub guy's obviously, well, there you go, already bought the siege mode. 9 on the laser battery as well, so we know what the strategy is now. We've got bombardment on the inside. Destro Clo didn't grab any more armor, but he did grab 4 lasers. Grabbed a Wraith probably for the hell of it. Oh, Vortex, and I'm imagining we'll see the siege get. He doesn't have enough energy to siege right now, so he's just chilling. He ate an EMP. He's not going to get enough energy to siege before Captain Jim gets out of there. There's the D-Matrix. Oh, it's going to be hard to actually get him. Yeah, it's going to be hard to get him killed. He is at 6 armor, but he is only at 1.5 speed, so it's going to be a slow run back to the base. And those D-Matrixes just popping off, as soon as possible. Looks like he's going to get out of there okay. Nobody's going to go down right now. That was a clutch EMP that happened. The sub guides prevented that siege from coming up, or this might have been G's, because that's that level 9 siege can be really, I mean, obviously is going to be a tough thing to fight against at this point in the game. It's still pretty early. We're not even at 13 minutes right now. So there you go. Sub guides continuing to farm on the outside, going to get that siege a little bit stronger. Link 7 Bile out here, messing with Techmeister, trying to push him back a little bit. Nightstar has the Parasite. Let's see who he dropped the Parasite on. Did he get the Parasite? Yeah, he got the Parasite on Techmeister and the carrier. So they've got that going for him. Parasite always a good advantage to have. Just that vision. I shouldn't have to even put that out there. As you saw, D-Matrix on the Raven. And Loco has gone back. He grabbed his rapid regen right now. He's sitting at 10 on his tentacles, 5 on his bile. And Destro's still going, not super duper armor right now. Getting those lasers up, getting that farm. Chrono boost for Gifted Stoner right now. Add some support for that siege. corrosive acid on Puff Puff. So and we saw the text earlier. So we pretty much know what the MO is for We Nuke and Run right now. Plenty of abilities. Gonna be hard for a single Raven, you know, to combat everybody who's using these abilities, but very nice job by Grizzly putting that EMP on sub guides to prevent that siege from coming up. That was pivotal. So that keeps SpaceBunnys in the game, and they are going to, you know, just try to catch up. It's really all you can do. Looking at 1,600 farm for We Nuke and Run, and almost 1,400 for SpaceBunnys, so they actually caught up a little bit in farm. They closed the gap, and that's very important for them to do. They are very late game focused in this composition. They still have both Leviathans, and those Leviathans can be a problem. They decide to just plus up that Bioswarm enough. One guy going force fields isn't going to be able to defend the entire field from it, and Destros get kited. That's what they do. They get kited. Nutbutter has gone to 10 on his range. He's grabbed lockdown, 300 energy right now, so he's going to try to keep the advantage over here on the We Nuke and Run side. Techmeister 8 on the interceptors right now. He does have warp in interceptors already, up to 275 on his energy, and grabbed a couple shield upgrades. 300 energy on the We Nuke and Run Arbiter gifted stoner right now, so not a ton, but when you got lockdowns, as you know, you got lockdowns helping you face off against this Ravens EMPs, you don't need all that much. Captain Jim takes, eats a corrosive, takes a little bit of damage, but now he's got his bots going. He's got some shields. Link's gonna have to go in after taking some interceptors and some gats. Nothing, life-threatening yet, but he is gonna have to go back in there, heal himself up a little bit. Nutbutter out here, a little overextended, I would say, in the battle cruiser, fighting that levy that's sitting at 5 bile and 10 tentacles. But he does have a range advantage, so he should be focusing on that kiting. That's exactly what he's going to do. You see that right there. Just going to try to keep putting those missiles on that Destro without, hopefully without doing that, getting those gats on him. But yeah, Loco just hanging out on the outside right now. Sub guy's going to go ahead and try to push him a little bit. That siege laser is up to 11 right now. So a little bit more damage right there. Went back to grab some kinetic, I'm sure. And Link on the other side is out here with his rapid regen. So we'll see what SpaceBunnys tries to do, especially catching up in this farm right now. Almost 1,700, but 2,000 for We Nuke and Run right now. So We Nuke and Run has pushed out that and extended that farm lead that they had. So now SpaceBunnys is gonna have to try harder to catch up to them as far as the score goes. Let's see who's high farming it around here. Sub Gods is 383, but you've got Loco and the Leviathan sitting at 447. So the high farmer currently is SpaceBunnys, Loco. Let's see where Link is. Not too far behind. He's at 340 though, but that's good enough to be the third highest farmer in the game, with the second highest being Sub Gods out there in that Destro. Sub Gods does have that kill though, so that works to his mineral advantage, and that's what we got. Looks like everybody's over 200 score at this point. Should be worth something and should be able to contribute. At this point, SpaceBunnys is looking for somebody on that We Nuke and Run side to make a mistake, so they can get somebody caught out, maybe even the odds a little bit, a 5v6. But I really think that this game going long is going to work to the disadvantage of We Nuke and Run, just because it's a more late game focused build, I would say, for SpaceBunnys. Double Levy has been really popular lately. It's getting real strong. People are even on the message boards complaining and saying that something needs to be nerfed. So I don't know what's going to happen with that, but I will tell you that right now, double levy will probably remain popular for a while. As you can see, it works, and it is nice to have a levy with 10 bio and 11 tentacles. He hasn't grabbed 10 range yet, but he is doing a lot of damage when someone gets close enough. On the other side, it's 7 bio and it's still 9 range for Link. Saw before the Nut Butter was up to 10 on his range, but he's only got 3 on those long bolts. So levies take a little bit of damage getting in there, still get some missiles on him. They win that exchange overall. Subgods is pulling out wide, but SpaceBunnys already knows what the deal is. They're pulling back in, so it won't be any warp trick killing off the SpaceBunny guys for right now. Everybody warping back to base, gonna go get some upgrades. Well, Link cancels his warp. He's gonna stay out, farm up a little bit. If we look at the farm right now, Link is up to 440 right now. Loco's sitting at 500. Overall, it's back to a 200 advantage for We Nuke and Run. So SpaceBunny's doing a good job of they're doing a good job of keeping things as close to even as possible farm-wide. When you're a ship down at 22 minutes and you're still only down by 200 farm, you're definitely doing something right. Obviously, you'd rather have your other ship, but if you're going to be a ship down, then this is the way to do it. And actually, somebody is knocking at my door, so I'm going to have to step away from the computer right quick. Looks like Subgods is trying some craziness. Going to try to get in there, so I'm going to step away. I'm going to leave you with Subgods' camera, and I'll be right back. Sorry. Alright, in the back, looks like nobody got murked while I was gone, so very good for everybody. Let's check out farm. We Nuke and Run sitting at 250-50, almost 2200 for SpaceBunnys, so still keeping it close. High farmer of the game, Loco. Let's check out some upgrades right now. Captain Jim is at 8 on his lasers, up to 7 on the armor. He has grabbed his protective field. Grizzly still using the D-Matrix plus up, now at 425 for that energy. Loco has his frenzy, ready to do some damage out here. Range 9 right now still. A lot of DPS. Nightstar has decided to build those broods up. So in addition to that parasite, now you're going to be using that broodling strike up to 13. Also put a couple into acid spore. And we're going to see a push right here by SpaceBunnys. Get Chloe out of there. Chloe is up to 11 on his laser battery, and he's had bombardment for a little bit now. Yep, looks like yeah, Nut Butter is once again a target. He's gonna oh man, he gets chrono boosted in the nick of time. That was a very dangerous situation to be in. He's got 9 on his long bolts and 10 range, but he's still taking a decent amount of damage. And the siege is now up. We got Loco sitting inside the vortex right now, just in the pool chilling. Everybody in SpaceBunny trying to figure out, okay, how we're going to save him. Start eating that siege. That's a storm dropped on him. Subgods, the siege is not going to be enough. Loco is just, he's too fast. He's at 1.7. That D-Matrix is coming in. And Gifted Stoner drops the storm on him, and it's just not enough. Or actually, yeah, the Gifted Stoner dropped the storm on him, and it wasn't enough. So Loco survive off the strength of that that rapid regen. That's regenerating 2100 life. So getting a little bit tanky, you know, getting strong. We're looking at Subgods pull back a little bit as Loco is back in the fight, frenzying up, hitting people with that level 10 bile. SpaceBunnys not going to go down easy, and they don't have to because they got the comp to support some late game strength. Let's take a look at where they are in this farm. Okay, so they're almost 400 down right now. We Nuke and Run extended that lead out a little bit this time. We'll see if they're able to keep it or what happens. Interceptors are at level 12 on Techmeister right now. As you saw, the second text he dropped so far. Been good grabbing people inside those texts. He's got warp in. Sub-God's protective field to go along with that siege at 375 energy. Still at 11 on the lasers. One shots for Nutbutter right now. He does have his defensive shield. He is up to 450 energy as well. So he should be at least an annoying presence for Captain Jim if he keeps kiting him like that with the D shield up. But Loco's gonna go after him again. It is so tough being a battle cruiser when you've got double levies across from him. You just missile boating like crazy. Nightstar is over here, 13 on his broods. Not dropping brood lords yet. But those broodlings can be pretty damaging. You're looking at broodlings that do 59 damage, range 13, so easy to utilize those broods facing any direction. Nutbutter is once again on the run, and I don't know if he, well, yeah, looks like Loco pulls back a little bit, so he's gonna make it out of there. I think Loco could have took that. Maybe the low energy for the regens, possibly the reason he didn't finish it off. During that exchange, Puff Joint gets Parasite on him. Or maybe it was there and I just missed it. That could happen. What we got going on here? Nightstar is, I guess, heading back to base. Wants to spend about 1,000 minerals right now. So, fair enough. Looking at the farm. Okay. About 300 advantage. So, the advantage has decreased again. SpaceBunnys just not, you know, not going to be out-farmed in this game. Just fighting back, closing that gap, and those levies are eating with passion and pleasure out here. Newt Booter has gone to 10 on the long bolts and grabbed some more lasers, trying to stay at 2-shot. Puff Puff has gone up to 11 on the broods, and he's actually got brood lords right now. Got his anabolic. He's at 350. He's at 350 for his energy. So you're about to see Broodlord start coming down from Puff Puff, and Gifted Stoner is using force fields now. So obviously that will give them some reprieve from this bile that's coming out. You see Link is up to 11 on his bile. We'll see what Loco's at. You know, he's still sitting at 10, but he's got 15 on the tentacles now. So tough to deal with that. You see the frenzy from Link coming in right here. They have, who are they attacking right now? Kind of looks like, okay, now we're getting some lag right here. Very sorry about that. I don't know exactly who the target was right there, if it was Puff Puff or if it was the Destro. Oh, there you go. You got the Brood Lords out here, level 13 on those Brood Lords, and that could be quite annoying for the We Nuke and Run guys. So they're gonna need to. I don't think that they're going to have a late game advantage with this composition they have right here. Probably gonna want to get aggressive again sometime soon. As you see Nightstar out there, 425 on his energy, and Anabolic just pumping out those broods. Going to be very painful. Nutbutter taking a lot of damage from those broods, and there's just not enough. There's not enough D shield in the world to fight against just all those broods constantly hitting you up as my computer tries to ruin the game for everybody. Let's look to the outside. Grizzly does have blackout right now. Combat that carrier a little bit. Dropped EMP on him, but he's got 375 energy, up to 15 interceptors, and Captain Jim has gone to 10 on his lasers. Otherwise, grabbed himself some energy. Now he's going to put a push on Nutbutter, who is constantly just doesn't have any shields. And, oh, Puff Puff is caught a little bit. He needs to get out of there. There's a text to try to save him. Nobody gets caught in it, but it does deter them. So he gets that text that protects them. And, man, he just took so much damage just hurting right now. He's burning. He's got to go in. But if he hadn't come in and dropped that text, I mean, they would have lost somebody right there. So good job for him. He's going to go back and get his upgrades, and looks like We Nuke Run's going to go back on the offensive. Corrosive acid coming out from Puff Puff, dropping some brews when he gets a chance to. Going to need to use it. Well, low on energies. I mean, on health, so can't really, you know, pop an anabolic. Now you're going to see Captain Jim just dive right into the middle. Just, you know, Superman dive into the middle of the We Nuke and Run line. Like, just forget it, dude. Coming in there, taking some damage, and then Loco's going to come out with those, yeah, he's hitting them with tentacles, and he's hitting them with missiles. So the Burning Destroyer Clo, he's going to have to go in and upgrade as well. And just, you know, you can see these levies start to take over this game. I mean, come on, these levies are quite powerful, and they're causing We Nuke and Run to lose the initiative. So we'll see if the We Nuke and Run guys can do something about one of those guys. High farmer of the game is Loco. 730 right now on the farm. Second highest farmer is going to, it's going to be Link on the other side of the levy, and then a close third's Techmeister and his carrier for We Nuke and Run. So despite the fact that they are overall down, the top two farmers are for SpaceBunnys right now. Let's see what Techmeister did. Grabbed a little bit of interceptors. He's got feedback. Probably going to be quite helpful fighting to combat those levies. And Nutbutter comes out with nuclear missile. So might see a nuke get dropped on somebody's head. Let's see what happened with Clo coming out. He went up to 15 on his lasers. Grabbed a couple wraiths and grabbed some gats. He's got that going for him. Rest of the upgrades go. Sub-Gods up to 16 on the lasers, and he's got bombardment as well. So Nutbutter's coming out with plenty of offense, and we'll see what they're able to do with it. 500 energy on Gifted 1 for the We Nuke and Run Arbiter right now. And it looks like SpaceBunny's going to go ahead, fall back a little bit. Right now, pretty much at their towers, so either going to see a push here real soon, or you're going to see him go upgrade. Loco's out here just fighting everybody, just a levy, just fighting the whole half of the team. He's got Frenzy up right now. Only added one to his Bioswarm so far. He's got plenty of hit points, plenty of energy, using that rapid regen. Probably going to upgrade that rapid regen very soon. On the other hand, Link has a parasite on him. He's at 16 tentacles and 12 bile. Also using frenzy and rapid regen, as you would expect. There's the siege up by Sub-Gods. He gets blacked out though. Grizzly with the nice blackout ends up locked down, but it's too late. Sub-God's gonna be running out of here. Clo taking just a ton of damage, just broods and just every kind of thing hating on him. He's got that parasite on him. They're gonna watch him burn all the way back to the base. The nuclear missile comes out courtesy of Nutbutter. I don't know that anybody got blown up by it. I was looking at that Destro to see if he was gonna survive. All right, so a lot of good back and forth action right now between We Nuke Run and SpaceBunnys. TSL Week 10, Game 2. Alright, let's take a look at what we got farmed right now. 3,300 as compared to almost, well, about 3,850. So We Nuke Run has pulled out, you know. Once again, the advantage is increasing. We'll see how long it takes for SpaceBunnys to come out and decrease it once again. High farmer of the game is Loco in the Leviathan. Let's see if Techmeister was able to catch up. He's almost the same with Link. But just not quite there. Sub-Gods is very farmed in his Destro, and pretty decent farm numbers on Puff Puff and the Guardian for We Nuke and Run. Alright, you can see Loco just take a ton of damage. We Nuke and Run trying to discourage him from being in the middle. Techmeister drops another text, has Captain Jim in it. There's the siege. Is the siege going to be enough? Looks like that siege is going to be enough. He's going to Oh no! No, that siege was not enough. Oh, just... Oh! And Nutbutter ends up killed. It's, that's tough. It's a dangerous life out here. Nightstar using those broods. They're at level 17. So a battle cruiser can get focused and melted very quickly with those broods coming in there. On the other hand, SpaceBunny is able to escape that siege text once again. Just moving out of there, Raven with the defensive matrix and the shield transfer. Very nicely done escaping that. Now I'm gonna have to say We Nuke and Run is at a pretty decent disadvantage. Now that it's back even, SpaceBunnys has the lead in the farm, about 35-60 to 33-30. So yeah, very hurtful loss for We Nuke and Run right there. They kind of needed to keep that ship advantage to make up for the comp disparity. As you can see, these broods hurt. Level 14 broods for Puff Puff though, so he's not far behind. These are both guardians that can, really put a hurting on somebody. A slight edge for Nightstar right now. As you can see, you could be looking at, some guy escaping a siege text attempt, and then all of a sudden somebody's battle cruiser explodes because of all these broods just hitting them. Some guy's going to try to get that 18 level laser battery on those broods, try to get them out of there. There's a text attempt by Techmeister that misses Captain Jim, so they're going to have to wait and give that another shot in about 150 seconds. There's the feedback on Link. He take pretty decent amount of damage. There comes the interceptors. Those are at level 22 right now. Subgods was following. Captain Jim deters him with the bombardment, and then Subgods turns around, drops the bombardment. So nice little battle going on down here. This was a 2-on-2 thing. Now levies are warping in, and it's all kind of danger. Subgod's getting melted right now. Definitely not going to survive this push. He's got the E-shields popping, but I don't know if that's enough. Oh wow! Alright. Well, just everybody dies then. That damage, just those broods, those freaking bowel swarm, just all kind of just damage being dropped on people. A little blackout on Chloe right now, and then he gets killed by Link in the levy, popping those 18 tentacles, 13 bowel swarm, and that's G's. So that was game 2 of the Week 10 Terran StarBattle League matchup between We Nuke and Run and SpaceBunnys. We are looking right now at advantage of 2 games right now to 0 for SpaceBunnys against We Nuke and Run. But we've got a third game that's going to come up, and I hope that you will all stick around because it should be just as exciting. These two teams are really going at it, and I think that we'll see really good third match. So stick around. TSL Week 10, gster. I'll be back.